ready to ditch those crowded tourist traps and like really dive into something a little more meaningful.
Yeah.
This deep dive is all about responsible tourism.
Nice.
We've got stacks of research and tips to help you explore the world in a way that benefits like the planet, the people on it.
Yeah, think of it as upgrading from just being a tourist, right, to like a mindful traveler.
Ooh, I like that.
We'll unpack everything from like simple actions you can take right now
Yeah.
to the bigger picture principles of sustainable tourism.
Okay, so first things first. What is responsible tourism?
It's about traveling with intention,
Okay.
understanding our impact, and
Yeah.
making choices that benefit the places we visit, the people who live there.
Yeah.
Harold Goodwin, one of the leaders in responsible tourism, puts it really beautifully. He says it's about creating better places for people to live and better places for people to visit.
So it's bigger than just like snapping that perfect selfie in a scenic location.
Right.
It's about making sure tourism is actually a positive force.
Exactly. It's about asking ourselves, how can my travels contribute to the well-being of this place and its people? For example, imagine a community where tourism directly funds local schools or healthcare initiatives.
Wow.
That's the potential of responsible travel.
That's amazing. It's inspiring to think that our choices as travelers can have that kind of impact. But realistically, how much of a difference can we really make?
Every choice has a ripple effect.
Okay.
Let's take something as simple as choosing a locally owned restaurant over a big chain.
Right.
When you support local businesses, you're directly contributing to the local economy and helping families thrive.
Yeah.
It might seem small, but those dollars add up.
That makes a lot of sense. So where do we start? Give us the inside scoop on how to put these ideas into action.
One of the easiest ways is by following a few golden rules for green travel. For example, have you ever considered the impact of your flights?
Honestly, I usually just book whatever's cheapest,
Yeah,
even if it means a million layovers.
I hear you. We've all been there.
Yeah.
But direct flights can actually have a smaller carbon footprint because all those takeoffs and landings use more fuel. It's definitely something to consider when comparing flights.
That's a great point. I always thought those layovers were just annoying, not environmentally impactful.
And speaking of reducing our carbon footprint, renting electric vehicles instead of traditional gas-powered cars is another great option. Plus, it's a fun way to explore a new destination.
I love that idea. Are there any surprising tips, things we might not even think about that can make a difference?
Absolutely. Think about hotel laundry services.
Oh, yeah.
They use a surprising amount of water and energy. By opting out of daily room cleaning and hanging up our towels to reuse them, we can significantly reduce our impact.
Wow, I've definitely been guilty of sending clothes to the hotel laundry. I had no idea they wash each guest's clothes separately.
Right.
That seems so wasteful now that I think about it.
And speaking of waste, did you know that even choosing e-tickets over printed ones can contribute to a greener trip? It's all about adopting that no paper, no waste mindset.
These are fantastic tips. So we're booking direct flights, renting electric cars, skipping the hotel laundry. What else can we do?
Supporting local businesses is huge. We touched on it earlier, but it's worth repeating. When you spend your money at locally owned restaurants, shops, and tour operators, you're directly supporting the local community and helping preserve their unique character.
It's like the shop local movement, but for travel.
Exactly. And it's not just about where we shop and eat. Let's talk about souvenirs.
Okay.
Instead of those mass-produced items, what if we sought out, like, unique crafts made by local artisans?
I love that idea. It's like bringing home a piece of their culture while supporting their craft. It's way more meaningful than just grabbing a generic keychain at the airport.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another essential aspect of responsible tourism: fair trade.
Ooh, okay.
You've probably seen the label on coffee and chocolate, but it plays a significant role in travel, too.
To be honest, I'm a little fuzzy on what fair trade actually means, like in practice. Fill me in.
Essentially, fair trade ensures that the people who make our souvenirs, grow our coffee, or create the beautiful crafts we buy are being paid a fair wage and working in safe conditions. It's about ensuring their livelihoods are improved, not exploited by tourism.
That's so important. It makes me want to be more conscious of where I spend my money when I travel.
Yeah.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, individual actions we can take to be more responsible travelers. But it sounds like there's a bigger, systemic piece to this puzzle as well.
Right. You're spot on. While individual actions are crucial, creating a genuinely sustainable tourism industry requires a more holistic approach. That's where Tourism Concerns 10 Principles come in.
Okay.
They provide a framework for governments, businesses, and travelers to work together towards a more responsible future for tourism.
Okay, let's unpack these principles. Give us the highlights. What are some of the key ideas they emphasize?
Well, the first principle focuses on using resources sustainably. Think about all the resources tourism consumes, right? Water, energy, food, everything has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Sustainable tourism means being mindful of our consumption and making choices that minimize our impact on these resources.
So maybe opting for shorter showers at the hotel and being mindful of my food waste, those little things actually do make a difference.
They absolutely do. And choosing accommodations that prioritize sustainability, like hotels with solar panels or water-saving measures, can make a big difference too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Another critical principle is supporting local economies. We've touched on this already, but it's about going beyond simply spending money.
Right.
It's about ensuring tourism benefits local communities in a meaningful and lasting way.
So instead of just taking that big bus tour, maybe I seek out a local guide who can offer a more authentic perspective.
Now you're getting it. And it doesn't stop at tours. Think homestays, workshops with local artisans, or even just striking up conversations with locals you meet along the way. These genuine interactions can be incredibly enriching for both the traveler and the community.
I love that. It's about fostering connections and understanding, not just observing from a distance. Are there any principles that focus specifically on cultural preservation? I'm always so aware of wanting to experience a new culture respectfully, not contribute to its exploitation.
You're raising an important point. It's not just about the environment and the economy. It's about respecting and preserving the unique cultures of the places we visit. One of Tourism Concerns principles emphasizes maintaining diversity. This means approaching cultural heritage with genuine respect and supporting efforts to protect it.
That resonates with me. So I'm thinking about things like dressing appropriately when visiting temples, learning a few basic phrases in the local language, those kinds of things.
Exactly. It's about demonstrating a genuine interest in understanding and engaging respectfully with the local culture.
This is all fantastic. I feel like I'm gaining a whole new perspective on travel. Now, I'm curious, do these principles address the idea of interacting with locals, like, directly?
Absolutely. Tourism Concern explicitly highlights the importance of involving local people in the tourism industry.
So it's about moving beyond those big impersonal tour groups and seeking out those authentic experiences where we can connect with locals on a more meaningful level.
Precisely. Imagine taking a cooking class led by a local family in their home, learning about their culinary traditions firsthand.
Right.
Or perhaps participating in a craft workshop where you can learn directly from skilled artisans, gaining a deeper appreciation for their craft and contributing to their economic well-being. These are the kinds of experiences that responsible tourism encourages.
It sounds so much more enriching than just observing from the sidelines. It's about creating those win-win situations where both travelers and local communities actually benefit from tourism.
Exactly. And ultimately, that's what responsible tourism is all about. It's not about guilt trips or sacrificing your sense of adventure. It's about, infusing your travels with purpose and making choices that align with your values.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that we have the power to shape the impact of tourism and create a more sustainable and equitable future for everyone.
This deep dive has been so eye-opening. I feel like I have a whole new toolkit for approaching travel in a more mindful and impactful way.
That's fantastic to hear. Remember, every choice, no matter how small, can make a difference.
So as we wrap up, what's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from this deep dive into responsible tourism?
That each and every one of us has the power to be a responsible traveler. By making conscious choices and approaching travel with intention, we can create a ripple effect that benefits not just ourselves, but the planet and its people.
I love that. And as you plan your next adventure, here's something to ponder. How can you use your travels as a force for good in the world?